Dear ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm delighted to join you today at the Global Oil Conference. I wish to be there in person, but for personal reasons was not possible. However, to be able to do it also virtually is great. Before I start sharing some experiences of Latin America, for those who are not familiar with NES Naturaleza, let me share a bit of information about this consultancy firm which for more than a decade has been supporting sustainability in the agroindustry. NES Naturaleza is located in South America, in the main palm oil producer country, which is Colombia. But we have been invited to support other companies in more than 15 countries all around the world. We also do some research in sustainable practices with universities in Europe. And we work closely with the sustainable standards such as ISCC and RSPO. Furthermore, we have been able to train more than 4,000 smallholders, and from them, 1,000 were already certified. In general, 65% of hectares certified in Latin America were supported by NES Naturaleza, together with 25 sites which are already certified. But we not only work with palm oil, we also do some support in other commodities such as coffee and cocoa. Please let me tell you about some of our clients and partners. We work very closely with Wilmar Europe, and we have been doing some research with ETH from Zurich, Switzerland, with C4 from Indonesia, and CIDAD from France. And we also work with some trader companies, such as CI Top, and NGOs such as Solidaridad in Latin America. We also work with banks, and of course some companies, palm oil companies such as Dinan, Ondupalma, Onducaribe, Agropecuaria Santa Maria, Palma Aceites, and others. And we are not also members of ISCC and RSPO, but we also work or join efforts on their task forces. America is a continent of edible oils. You can find in the north rapeseed and soybean and corn oil, among others. In Central and South America, you can find oil palm oil, or soybean oil mainly. Focusing on palm oil, the region produced close to 5.3 million tons, which means close to 7% of the total worldwide production. And from those 5.3 million tons, 1.8 million were sustainable certified, which means 34% of the total production. That shows a great leadership on sustainable practices in the region. Please, let's focus on this chart where you can see not only the contribution of each LATAM country to the crude palm oil supply, but also the RSPO sustainable certified tons of CPO. So, as mentioned before, Colombia is the main palm oil producer country in the region, followed by Guatemala and Honduras. So, the green color is what you can see as RSPO sustainable certified. However, it is important to take into account that there's also an important supply ISCC certified, where Honduras has close to 80% of the total production certified, sustainable certified, let's say RSPO or ISCC. Same happened to Colombia. They also have like an important supply certified ISCC. Talking about RSPO, it is important to take into account for those who are interested in palm oil from Latin America that 64% of the total certified supply is IP certified versus 36% from mass balance. This is also very important because it shows how consistent is the region in terms of their commitment to sustainable supply. This graph shows how fast Latin America has been moving during the recent years towards sustainable practices. In less than 4 years, we have twofold the sustainable supply. According to RSPO, there are 40.8 million tons of certified sustainable palm oil. And from there, 12% correspond to LATAM supply. This is the 1.8 million tons that we were talking before. And from those, 80% of FFB of a smallholder certified count for 20% of the sustainable palm oil certified. This is a very important fact, noting that smallholders are really important suppliers of FFB in Latin America. Well, the reason why Latin America is having such good numbers in terms of sustainable supply is because each of the three main producer countries developed a strategy to achieve some goals in the medium term. Let's see what they have been doing. Colombia is a country with close to 600,000 hectares planted with palm oil, and it is the fourth largest producer of palm oil in the world. So it has defined its own principles of sustainable palm oil, represented in 10 principles, which are divided in two economics, where you can mention productive, competitiveness, and resilient agribusiness, and value generation from biomass. There's also 4 principles related to environmental responsibility, which is an adequate and efficient use of land, water, and energy, zero deforestation and no conversion of HCV, all palm crops in harmony with natural environment and biodiversity, and prevention and mitigation of environmental pollution. And there's still 4 social principles as well, where we can see decent work and respect for workers' rights, responsible supply chains and inclusiveness, responsible relations with the communities, and protection of human rights, and ethical and legal and transparent behavior. All of them respond to a validation and verification scheme that will support the consolidation of the country brand of unique and differentiated palm oil. This strategy has as well 4 major axes, which are self-regulation for sustainability, sustainable and traceable supply chains, the positioning of the crude oil, and the governance. So this is the strategy which help the producers of Colombia to reach the commitment and the goals of sustainability. Now let's talk about Guatemala, which has been working on social and environmental activities, but today we will focus on the environment, where they have been defining 3 main pillars, such as satellite monitoring, zero deforestation, and conservation projects. The very important thing here is that Guatemala works through alliances or partnerships. So by now, They have 7 alliances, 3 international memberships, 5 conservation projects, and something very important and significant is that they have 100% of the total palm oil hectares monitored. Those alliances and partnerships work towards some aspects that they have been prioritized, which are water management, climate change mitigation, residues management, soil conservation, biodiversity conservation, social relationship, data management, because that's something that is very important in terms of keeping the records of what they have been doing during those years. And of course, something very important that goes through the whole palm oil sector, which is the knowledge building. So prioritizing those aspects and having the pillars, they have been working very hard and reaching the goals they have been set on sustainable practices. Now the turn is to Honduras, where an important percentage of the mills have been working together with Wilmar and Olenex towards sustainability. And Wilmar and Olenex are very important buyers of palm oil in Latin America. So this is a very interesting model of shared responsibility. During the last 5 or 6 years, those mills has been working through 2 important programs, WISH and WISHY. And the results were incredible because 75% of the mills are already certified, or RSPO, or IHCC, or both. And even more, 1,000 smallholders are already certified, which is, I think, that the most important number of smallholders certified in any country in Latin America. So those projects were founded by a program called Mariposa and Friends of Sustainable Palm from Latin America. The results, as I mentioned, are very interesting because nowadays it is possible to see the smallholders empowered on sustainable practices, but even more as business persons looking for a better future of the palm oil in the international markets. Wow, we are running out of time, so let's go to the final comments. LATAM is mainly an exported region, which shows a higher percentage of certified sustainable palm oil. The different strategies developed along the diverse countries allows a better understanding of sustainable practices among the agro-industry, the producers, and the buyers. Smallholders play an important role and their commitment is a must in the sustainability journey. And as I mentioned before, LATAM is very committed to sustainability. I think that this is the end of my presentation. So thank you so much and keep safe.